welcome back to another installment of the Prefect Podcast. Today, we're going to talk about March Madness. We don't really have a set agenda. It's going to be pretty random, as it usually is. We're going to talk about, what went well for us, what went terrible for us, what went terrible for the general public. We got a couple of interviews. Hopefully, we're going to mention some breakout performances like that big guy on Loyola Chicago. We're going to talk about some facial hair. I don't have any. Ethan does. A lot of March Madness players have some great facial hair, so that'll be a big topic of conversation, hopefully. So, let's just get right into it. And you guys want anything you want to start off with? Or
okay, you brought up the Trutwig guy in Loyola. Just absolutely bodied Illinois. And I had Illinois winning the entire thing. A lot of people had them in the finals because they won that Big Ten tournament and looked real good. And then second round, they're out. After that, bracket completely busted.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's just built different. I think we can all agree.
He has a full-on dad bod at like 24. He's looking good for the future.
You know what I think it is? I think that guy has like nothing to care about. Like he already lost his hairline. Like what is there to lose? He's just putting it all out there on the basketball floor and just giving it everything he got.
That was Cade Cunningham, man.
Oh, don't bring up my boy. Don't bring up my boy. He's NBA ready though. Let's be clear.
He's NBA ready, but he's not March Madness ready whatsoever.
Cade Cunningham is literally like LeBron mixed with Kobe.
Devin, what do you have to say?
Devin, say something.
All right, well, what I'll say is in the semifinals between UCLA and Gonzaga, when the guy got the charging call going up for the layup in like the last minute, I thought it was a blocking foul. So I thought they were about to shoot free throws to win. And I was going crazy. And then I realized I was going crazy and I turned around and realized it was a charge. And I was just mad.
The buzzer beater.
That was crazy.
You just stay on UCLA for a second.
Yeah,
Are you guys aware of who Hawkes Jr. is?
No.
Okay, let me just share my screen. All right, this guy.
Good facial hair.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Does this guy not have the nicest mustache in the NCAA tournament?
That's fashion. He's got that little spread in the middle too.
It's kind of like the devil's beard. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like I'll show you a different photo like this. See what I'm talking about? That combo. That's
yeah.
killer.
He was in buckets too in the tournament too. He carried UCLA to that Final Four. Oh, Ohio State versus Oral Roberts.
Oral Roberts built different.
Oral Roberts, second 15 seed ever to make the Sweet 16.
Shout out to Washington Jr. because I saw him on Instagram and he had a fresh cut, but that guy's a bum. He is not good at basketball. Washington Jr. He is not NBA ready. He's not NBA ready at all. Just absolutely choked that game. Didn't Washington Jr. choke that game?
Yes, big time.
Some people just want to be, they just want to be like the savior of the team. He was not feeling it. Missing open threes, missing layups, missing free throws. Just not fundamentally sound. I think Mr. Rossetti could help him out with that.
I thought that Oral Roberts buzzer beater in this Sweet 16 was going to go in. Made that play with like 4 seconds left. Got down the court. Good looking shot. Couldn't make it.
I don't even know if I've watched that game. And I'm wondering if you guys can relate to this. When you start losing in the bracket pretty bad and your max is below the highest person, I kind of stop watching the games.
I didn't watch the Final Four. I just watched the highlights. I couldn't stand to watch it. All my teams were out. Because I had a chance to win the entire thing in a different bracket if Baylor lost in the Final Four and Gonzaga. But it didn't happen.
My thing is, what happened to Florida State? Scotty Barnes is supposed to be the next Kevin Durant. Like, what are we doing? I don't even know what's wrong with that team. Listen, although I'm a March Madness pro, this was my first year doing a bracket. First year of watching the tournament.
So you're a rookie. You're not a pro. You're an absolute rookie.
I'm a pro. So my guess may have been uneducated, but I had real faith in that team. Florida men never fail. So I don't know what went wrong. Do you want to talk about the buzzer beater?
Yeah. It's just
one. That was another moment. That was like going crazy and then being like, oh my, like just like when I thought it was blocking foul, then it was charging. When UCLA made the layup to tie it up, going crazy, turn around.
Yeah, at first he missed it too, and then he made it. So
I know.
I was like, no, and then he made it super hyped. Jalen Suggs dribbles it down, half court prayer off the backboard, game.
Yeah.
That one hurt bad.
Have you guys seen his combined mixtape?
No.
I want to know whether he was trying to bank it though, or if he just missed it so bad.
He didn't call bank, called game.
Did you call bank? I called game.
literally, when you see him like shoot the ball, the minute he shoots it, he starts running towards the desk. I knew it was in. Like he knew it was in. It was wild.
Did you guys watch the celly when he jumped up on the?
Yeah, it was like Dwayne Wade.
I'm the only one who noticed that his buddy jumped up there too, like one of his teammates.
No one cares about his teammate. He made the shot. No one cares.
I know, like it annoyed me because he was celebrating, right?
He was trying to steal the moment,
and it was supposed to be his D Wade moment, and then his buddy just jumps up on the table like, "You didn't do anything. Like you're bench."
That's funny. I did not notice that either.
Yeah.
I also didn't realize that it was bad practice to jump on the table with him.
Yeah, it was brutal. But honestly, like I think this was because I've done March Madness for like my entire life, and this was the lowest max ever for all players because of how many upsets there were. Like there were so many upsets.
Was this year more than usual, you think?
Oh yeah, by a mile.
Yeah.
This is the most upsets ever in NCAA history. So like that's why everyone's maxes were super low. Like Wyatt, the guy who has won, you didn't win with how many points.
Was the RCC bracket tight? Has anyone seen?
Yeah.
Well,
If Gonzaga had won, then someone else would have won. If Gonzaga had won the final.
so you guys are happy that Gonzaga lost and their undefeated season got ruined?
Like
I mean, I kind of just like go through my channels just cheering for the underdogs. I was cheering for Oral Roberts and I was cheering for UCLA. So when I got to the final, I was cheering for Baylor.
man, I just wanted my money. I wanted Illinois to win. I wanted to secure the bread, and they didn't win, so I didn't care after that. That's my money.
True.
You cannot hate a man for trying to secure the bread. I think for me it sucks because like I like Jalen Suggs and I like Timmy. Timmy's post game is undefeated. That guy's moving at 2 miles an hour and getting absolute buckets. So I wanted them to win, but at the same time I was just thinking about, imagine if you're a Baylor guy and you get to tell your kids that you literally ruined the college basketball experience of the whole Gonzaga team and like just ended their undefeated season, like literally blew out their birthday candles.
Like the Giants ruining the Patriots' undefeated season.
Yeah, like that must be pretty satisfying for them. They must feel really good about that.
Also, they won.
Yeah, but they like, you know what I mean? Like they won most people probably thought Gonzaga was going to win.
Baylor by far was the most deezed basketball team I've ever seen. These guys were actually built different. Like every guy on that team should at least bench like 225, 275 at least.
I wonder what their training routine is like.
I don't know, just like they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams and they're big. Like
that doesn't make any sense because working out makes your jump shot terrible. Is there any other notable things that we should bring up?
Well, Iowa lost in the second round. Iowa lost in the second round to Oregon. That was pretty big. I had Iowa on my Elite 8. Then losing to Gonzaga. That was big. The Texas, like a big game in my bracket was like the whole Texas Tech versus Arkansas game. That was a huge game because they had Mac McClung, who's doing off this year after Texas Tech.
Mac McClung, he was really good at the start of the year, and then he kind of
he was averaging like I think it was like 18, like it was 18 to like 21 points a game. He was like doing really well after his like terrible year at Georgetown. And I absolutely choked in March Madness.
You muted yourself.
Keep talking. I need to find something to show you guys.
Well, while Ethan looks like this, maybe we'll go to the interview of Wyatt.
We've got two very special guests today. We've got Aaron Brady in grade 12 and Wyatt Guy in grade 9. So Wyatt was our winner of the March Madness bracket of 54 brackets entered. Wyatt was number 1. Aaron was closer to number 54. So Wyatt is here as kind of a celebration, while Aaron is here more of a reference point for what you're trying to not achieve. Okay. So Wyatt, we'll start with you. How did you make your selections for the March Madness bracket? Obviously, they went very well.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard college basketball fan, but I know a bit obviously about college basketball, and I knew that in March Madness brackets they award the upsets, so I had to go with some big upsets. I had OSU in my Elite 8, and I had the Oregon Ducks in my Sweet 16. And really, I picked a lot of universities that I kind of like the players on the universities. And I didn't pay attention as much as I probably should have to the actual standings.
All right, thank you. And Aaron, how about you? I'm sure the fans really want to know what they should not do when they're trying to make March Madness picks. So how did you make your picks for the bracket?
I mean, I looked up a YouTube video, and a guy who claimed he was a pro at choosing teams said he had a good bracket chosen out. I used a lot of information from him, but it appears that he led me astray. And
So
he
it's
tricked me.
his fault, not yours, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like if it weren't for him, you probably would have picked Baylor to win it all. But
yeah.
So I think Wyatt's strategy, he did not pick the winner correctly, but he got a lot of the upsets right, like he said, which is how he racked up so many more points than the rest of us. So Wyatt, do you have any advice for someone like Aaron who's trying to make better picks next year?
I would just say go with your gut. Don't try and copy someone from YouTube.
Yeah, that might be a good decision.
Don't let anyone tell you what to do. Just don't matter what people say.
I think.
Do you have any advice for Devin also, who came 37th out of 54 people?
I would say the same thing to both of you. So.
Yeah, I actually used a coin and just flipped a coin for every matchup, and so I think it worked pretty well. I think I beat Aaron, so a coin is in fact smarter. Okay, well, we're just about running out of time here, so one last question: who wins the 2022 March Madness tournament? Aaron, you go first.
I'm gonna have to go with Oral Roberts on this one.
Oral Roberts. All right, they made a good run. They covered lots of spreads. 3 big upsets, I think. So yeah, I think that's a good show. Wyatt, how about you?
I have an unpopular opinion here, but I got to go with my boys over the Oregon State Beavers. Had to fall short this year, but.
Fun fact: I think both your selections covered all the spreads in all the games they played in. So they were just covering spreads next year. Oregon,
you seem to know a lot about the spreads and the betting odds, Devin. Why is that?
Oregon State, Oral Roberts, maybe the final next year.
And we're back. And that was a great interview with Wyatt. Shout out to him again for crushing the bracket, destroying everyone's dreams. And Ethan has finally found what he was looking for. And
we gotta talk about Matthew Mayer's mullet during the tournament. There's these 2 Mayer brothers on Baylor with absolutely egregious mullets.
Wow. I mean, that thing is just immaculate. Can we move the photo like to the left of that one, like upwards?
Oh, that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what would you guys think about like a all mullet dress code for RSGC 2022?
I've been growing it. I could do it.
I mean, it'd be funny to see. Like, we won't be here anymore, so we'll just not have to do it ourselves and just get to look at everyone else. Like,
what do you think of this absolute beautiful handlebar mustache?
I mean, Drew Timmy's just the GOAT, so.
Yeah, like that thing is gorgeous.
No, the guy on Loyola there, like, are we buying that he's like early 20s? Like, I feel like he's 40.
Wait, on the right, Big Papa. I don't know.
I feel like he's like 42. Which is...
Definitely has like 6 kids in life already. He's got a mansion in the suburbs. 100%.
Yeah, he's paying off his mortgage still. Yeah.
Yeah, he's paying off the student loans. He's chilling.
Who do you guys like the most? Which style do you like the most?
I'd have to go
Drew Timmy. Drew Timmy looks like a beast.
Drew Timmy or the mullet. So is that all we have for today? Or do you want to dive into anything else?
I think that's all right. Thank you for listening to the Prefect Podcast. If you listen to the whole thing, respect. And tune in again next week for another episode.